So I don't want you people to push people to make mistakes. Please spare the leaders of Uganda. Don't push them to make mistakes. Now you people in the grassroots are the ones pushing no. How will you be seen sitting with the dictator in the same tent? This is the president of Uganda. The IPOD is like a Interreligious Council of Uganda. Imagine if the Muslims went to harass the Mufti. You can't sit with those people, they eat pork. What stupidity is that? Interreligious Council of Uganda has objectives. I don't eat pork myself, I'm not a Muslim. But imagine if the Muslims started saying, don't be part of Interreligious Council of Uganda because some of them, they eat pork, the Christians eat pork. Or these other ones say, those ones marry many wives, they are polygamists. You can't be... Nobody is trying to tell Archbishop Kajimba. Sorry, Kazimba. Nobody is telling Archbishop Kazimba to marry 4 wives. And nobody is telling His Eminence, the Mufti, that now eat pork. But they go to talk about the virtues of Islam, the virtues of Christianity, which are actually shared virtues. So I wish to warn the so-called foot soldiers. You are making your leaders to make mistakes. And the leaders also, be leaders. How can I say, I'm a leader, but I'm saying, Katulagewa, where should we go now? And they say, now go here. Then you say you're a leader. That's not leadership. A leader must go ahead and survey the place. In the Bible, we have the story of Moses. Moses led people in very rough terrain. But because of confusion, they took 40 years. I'm told that journey from Egypt to the Promised Land is a journey of maybe 11 days on foot, if you are walking non-stop. 11 days. Why did they take 40 years? Because of confusion. So Uganda by now should be a very highly developed country, very united and strong, a superpower. But because of the followers are misleading the leaders. The leaders don't have confidence about their own vision. They lack conviction. So if I'm a president of a party, how can a foot soldier tell me, how will they see you sitting with the dictator in the same tent? I am your leader, and you have a choice. Go and follow someone else. That's the new DP that we are building. That if you think that you are too good for what you are doing, this gate is always open. There is always exit. Now, some of them left, but they are now coming back. Why? Because they found that they had been misled. As I talk now, so many of the dropouts of Kavule are knocking on our door. Yes. For us, we don't reject anybody. So please stop misleading the leaders of NUP by posting on social media. I see people are dramatizing it. They are bringing old statements. People grow. People grow. Let's assume that they have... Whatever the reason, whether you are talking of money, whether you're talking... For me, I don't care about the reason. The thing is, we are in this country together, and we must find a way to sit together to talk about it. So, save these young leaders of ours. Don't push them to become extremists. That used to happen also. You know, there were those who were pushing President Museveni. How can you talk to coin? You cannot talk to coin. You won a guerrilla war. Even this one, you are going to win it militarily. There's no need for peace talks. So 20 years, our people suffered there in the north because some people are pushing the president. Even us as leaders, we were being pushed by our people. Don't work with the government. They have killed our people. They have raped our people. Don't. I went to London. I sat in a meeting of the Acholi people during the Kachokema deed. When the representative of Joseph Kony came to give a speech, it was as if it was the Pope who had arrived. He brought out a long speech, and his first statement was, "I bring you greetings from Major General Joseph Kony." There were cheers for 5 minutes. Now we, the elected leaders, were there shrinking like a chicken that have been beaten by rain. Justice Owindolo, Chief Justice now, at that time he was MP and Minister. Norbert Mao was there. Regan Okumu was there. Jane Akwero Duong was there. Okello Okello was there. 11 of us, seasoned leaders, highly educated. We see our people are tuned in to FM Kony. They blasted us. Look at them. They are there in Uganda, that they are MPs. Instead of supporting Kony, why are you going to that parliament of Museveni? You should be supporting Kony. I wanted, you know me, Sisirika, put up my hand to talk. And my colleagues were saying, no, don't talk. Eventually, I just got up and requested for the microphone. I said, my people, my name is Norbert Mao. I'm only 29 years old. I see among you senior military leaders who were in the government in Uganda. A small group came from the bush and evicted you from power. First explain what happened. First admit that you failed. That's why you ran away. You fled. If you had not fled, we would not be suffering. So stop lecturing us about political judgment and so on. You should be apologizing to us. You are in charge of the army. You are even in charge of the Bank of Uganda. What happened? And I told them, the mere fact that you are saying you are in exile, that's not a badge of achievement. Even me, I pulled out my passport. I said, even me, I can tear my passport right now and go to the Queen's government and also declare that I'm running away from Museveni. Then I'll be given refugee status. I start receiving some pounds every week. This is total humiliation. Your fathers, your husbands, you are here lining up for the Queen's money. And you are lecturing me, Norbert Mao, who is the hope of your mothers and other relatives you ran away from in Uganda. A true defender of his people must stand between the enemy and the people. Now you have put the people to shield you. The room was silent. The next day, they wrote to me a 14-page letter of insults. No, Mao, the mother is a Munyankore, this is Museveni's nephew, he's very arrogant, listen to the way he talks and what. And I said, it means I've touched something. But that was the beginning. So Uganda needs straight talk. Straight talk brought us to Juba. Eventually, we built a consensus. So, please, 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 save these young people from extremism. You are pushing them to get lost. And when you post these videos, now you are finally kneeling for money. It's not about money. These young people are Ugandans, and they represent a section of people who are demanding certain changes in our society. But they just need to be guided so that they do it properly. So you are going to see them in the same tent with all the rest of us, and they will talk their own issues. There is no flash disk that is going to be put on the head of a NUP leader that you must only say what is on the flash disk. You come and say what you want. But you people are inciting them, making them even to be afraid. That's why I hear some people that when they are going to see President Museveni, they wear hijab, they wear gomesi, yet they are men. Why do we want to reduce our country to that level? Don't you see Nancy Pelosi? When she goes to meet Trump, those days when she was speaker, and yet she had just torn the president's speech. She got Donald Trump's speech and just ripped it apart and threw it, saying rubbish. But the next day, because of the economy of America, she was in the White House. Now people think it is a matter of pride. The Sirinyangamu State House. How can that also be a matter to be proud of? Please, save our young leaders. Don't lead them into temptation. You're making it hard for them. So it is only courageous people like DP, because our cooperation with the NRM has a history, and we want it to have a future. And it is just the nucleus, and you can see others are gathering around it. For this time, this transitional talk we are having, the talk about transition, we need everybody on board. We are not going to, that's why even though the media calls me, what do you now have to say about Noop's change of heart? What do you want me to say? If somebody has changed their opinion, they've changed their opinion. Am I the one to explain it to you? If a witch doctor decides to get saved, now you don't interview other people and say, tell us what you think about this. We must just be shouting with joy. So we must be shouting with joy by saying, hallelujah. These people now want to sit together with the other leaders to look for where they can what they can agree about. But you Ugandans, you are there teasing the young man, especially you the bloggers. You put somebody there, since Akorachi, what, to hell with your IPOD, what? Then, a few moments later, sentence of what? Please, let us have some silence on that topic. Because we are missing an opportunity. We are missing an opportunity. We wouldn't have suffered in 1966. Now me and Leandro, because he's a bit of my generation. Me, by the time I was born, at the age of 4 years, the army takes over the government. Amin comes. At the age of 12, Amin is falling. At the age of 14, we have a guerrilla movement running around. And to go to Gulu, I have to pass via Tororo, Mbale, Soroti, Lira. I can't take this part here. Because they were shooting people on the road. There were landmines and so on. By the time I'm finishing high school, the Luwero people are arriving. Now we have got this 1995 constitution, which is 30 years old. So, stop leading our leaders into temptation. It is not useful. And even DP, we have made some mistakes, like 96, when our leaders, out of anger, said, don't participate in the parliamentary elections. That's how Lumpens took over the city. Yes, because we decided to take a back seat just because we are annoyed. And I'm sure there were people who misguided our leaders. They have robbed your votes. How can you even now go for parliamentary election? What? Leaders must lead with courage. Because leaders don't look at 5 years, 10 years. In future, you people will, when I'm long gone, you'll build a statue of me. In 50 years' time, you say there was a man called Norbert Mao. He did things which others thought were not acceptable, but he saved us. So, That is about the new consensus. Others are saying, you know, this campaign does not have vibe. Just because there's no tear gas. How can you wish tear gas for people? I don't like tear gas myself. Isn't it a good thing when a party president moves with his crowd and goes to a rally? Now, he must now deliver a message. Because now, you must now come out of the katemba of saying, you see how we were blocked, you see how we were this, you see these soldiers, they're harassing us. What? No, that is not there. Give your message to Ugandans. Can you be trusted? Uganda needs a steady hand in this period. It is like removing this bile from the liver. They call it what? Akaka. Huh? Akalulwe. Can you trust somebody with shaky hands to remove it? The whole liver will spoil. Somebody who comes and you just say, please, 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 move. You need a steady hand to cut it out so that Uganda can be safe. There is bile in Uganda. I'll be the last to deny it. But it can be removed if you stop inciting people. So now, Nandala Mafabi and Amuriat came to the tent. We stood with them to welcome the president. So, did the sky fall? Did the sun now start rising from the west and setting in the east? It's not a big deal. Now, but you people now, that, oh, the president just wants to take a photo with me. Who are you really? That taking a photo with you is such a big deal. It is not about the photo. It is about saying, I am sitting in this tent, but I have my own vision of how Uganda should be run. And these are the points of difference. When you go to IPOD meetings, there's no brain transplant. That when you arrive, they remove your brain, then they put in something else. You go with your brain. Unless you don't have any in the first place. But if you have, why should you fear? Me, I can even argue with a witch doctor. Why should you? I don't fear sitting with a witch doctor. To raise their points, I also raise mine. But I cannot just start saying, how will I be seen? Pope Francis showed us the best example when he took off to Saudi Arabia and met the Grand Mufti. All the Catholics were saying, Atachi Susiza. And he sat. And they signed something called the Abrahamic Accord. And they said, Ishmael, the ancestor of the Arabs, and Isaac are both children of Abraham. Now, we are both children of Uganda. Whether you are there with your red beret, with the pips, weighing you down, it really doesn't matter. That's just a piece of cloth. It's just a piece of cloth. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Whether you wear a kanzu, whether you wear a trouser. If you're a man, you're a man. If you're a woman, you're a woman. Even if you dress up like this, you're still a woman. It's just a cloth. So, I beg Ugandans, stop pushing leaders to make mistakes. And it is on both sides. I told you, those who are pushing President Museveni not to consider peace talks. True, he had weakened the LRA considerably, but it was still important to talk about the cause that led to that war. So a true leader must make a tough decision. That is the new consensus. The new Uganda must be based on a new consensus. And I'm glad that the campaign is exposing those who actually are serious about what they are talking and those who actually are empty. They are just looking for, how can we provoke police to do something? I had the Nakaseke campaign of the NUP candidate. It was not easy, by the way, because He went through the place, what, and that's the heartland of NRA. No incident. Eventually the speech was about General Salim Saleh. That was my Charlie. You are my Charlie. Is that a presidential campaign? You must talk about what you are going to do for the coffee farmers of Nakaseke. The man you are talking about is the one who has built the biggest industrial park in Nakaseke, employing thousands of people, a market for people's fruits and so on. So for once, let Ugandans make this a deep conversation. I think you are not helping us, you in the media. You are keeping the conversation too shallow. When President Mao of DP is talking with President Museveni to agree on something, that is a wheelbarrow. You even draw his cartoon with a gun in his butt. What obscenity is that? When NUP is now considering coming to publicly sign the MOU, because it has to be signed publicly. Yes. Now you start drawing his cartoon that is kneeling, pleading, that is now knocking, wagwan, what? You people are really making it difficult for leaders to lead. You are putting the person in a very tight corner. Don't turn this into a joking topic. That group represents a sizable population of Uganda, and they need to be represented well. Forget about their fights over tickets and so on. Uganda is if Uganda was to be a person, Uganda is still an adolescent. Uganda is still a Uganda chawunya kavubuka. That is really where Uganda is. So don't be surprised by the behavior of some of these politicians. It is because people are doing okuwaga. In Luganda they say, Kaliba kasajja akuliisa engo.